What's up, DJ fan? Welcome to another video on our channel. Welcome to another episode of Start to Spin. My name is Diego, also known as DJ Pretty Boy, alongside my boy Shay, also known as DJ Shay. And together we open this spot to talk about DJ-related content, such as product reviews, tips and tricks, just tell our stories and share it with you guys so we can share some knowledge. So if you're a new DJ or a seasoned DJ, this is the spot to be. And with that being said, let's roll this intro.
Start to spin, feel the vibe. Pretty boy and Shay, we ride. Tune in now, don't be late. Every Thursday, podcast.
Yo,
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Start to Spin. You already know, myself and Shay, we're here. And
yes,
today
sir, I'm back.
Yeah, he's back. He's back.
I'm back. Shout out Smiley for last week holding it down. You guys had a great episode. I saw that one on the photo booths.
Yeah, it was a fun one. It actually went longer than expected, but
Yeah, you guys went through like everything photo booth related. You got it covered in that video.
yeah, we were just going at it, definitely. But yeah, so for this one, we're definitely going to talk about playlists and how do we curate our playlist depending on on the event that we're doing. So let's go ahead and let's start with the first things first. When building your crates for in a specific event, you have to know one, what type of event it is, because obviously you're not going to play what you usually play in a wedding and a regular party. There's things that you got to take in consideration when you do this type of events. So, and then also audience, it depends on your craze, your music selection. It's very dependable on the crowd that you're gonna have, the age demographic that it's gonna be there, and also requires a different vibes, because you're not gonna have the same type of music at dinner that you will have a peak hour, and ceremony is completely different than cocktail hour. It's not the same. So you have to know and strategize with every single playlist that you're gonna have, or crate that you're gonna have for every specific event. But it all starts with a good conversation and a clear understanding of what the client is asking for. So with this, Shay, how do you proceed with your playlist curation, if that's a word?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously for us, like it's different for club DJs. Club DJs, you're thinking about only the kind of music you like, maybe what fits that club, what that club wants.
Mhm.
But for us, things are different. We have like a lane that we stay in. Like each of us has our kind of specialty.
Yeah.
But in general, it's that it can change a lot within that. So it's number one, obviously, like you said, whatever the client says, that's where you start. And the way I think about it too is also I don't know if everyone does this, but I like to have an idea of, okay, this is how I'm thinking to start the night, and then this is what I'm planning to go into later, and then this is kind of what I think they'll like to end with. And I obviously it doesn't always fit that, but what I like to do, especially for the beginning of the night, I like to have a few different options for how I'm going to start, because sometimes you might think the vibe's going to be one way, but you get to the event and you're like, whoa, the vibe here is totally different. The crowd, there's way more people, there's way more young people, there's a lot of old people here I wasn't expecting. So sometimes you have to pivot on the spot. So obviously the more experienced you get, you can probably pivot a lot easier, right on the spot. But in the beginning, I think thinking about different ways you might start it, and then once you get there, deciding, okay, based on what I'm seeing here and what I think people are going to like, I think this way to start is going to work better. And sometimes it's also based on the energy, like what's coming up right before that. Like, let's say right before that, everybody's just sitting down at dinner. Like, you're going straight from everyone's seated at dinner to, okay, the dance floor is open. You're going to open that differently than how you would open the dance floor where, let's say, you having a dance with everybody there on the dance floor, like, okay, you're doing like a group anniversary dance, or you're doing something fun right before where everybody's on the dance floor, like you're doing a garter toss or a bouquet toss or whatever. that you'd open the dance floor differently than in those different scenarios. So that's why I like to have multiple different options for how I start, and then I keep an idea. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go into this, and then you just kind of see how the night goes after that.
Yeah. So for me, again, it really depends on the type of the type of event that we're doing. So, like for example, on weddings, you know that weddings and quinces and all that, it's a, a mixed crowd that you're gonna get. So you don't always gonna be just playing one specific type of genre. You need to know every genre that we're going to the it needs to be played. Where are they from? All these little things will help you when you start building your crates for this specific event. Like for example, if we're doing weddings, you have to keep in consideration door opening. When the door opens, you need to set the vibe. So it depends on what you previously spoke to the client, what they say that they're looking for. Then that's what you got to project from the get-go, from the beginning of the event. You need to project that. Obviously, ceremony and cocktail hour are completely different, but once the door opens for reception, you should be playing music that best fits the environment or the tone that you want to set for the rest of the night. So,
And Buddy's in the house, man. What's up, Buddy? Thanks for stopping by.
hey, what's up, buddy? Hey, let
Buddy's
us
an
know in the
expert in
comments.
this.
Yeah, let us know in the comments how do you curate your playlist for each event? Do you curate? Do you have a specific like playlist for each event, or how do you do it? Do you request a playlist from the client, and do you have a limit of how many songs do you ask the clients to send to you, or it can just be open? For me, it's open. I don't say, like, I don't tell them that, hey, send me your whole 3,000 songs. Nah, I'm like, just send me a playlist. But I do tell them I do not I won't say that I'm gonna play every single song, but I will go based on that to further my research and gather the best music that I can get for your event. So that's
Yeah.
very, very important. I know there's some DJs that I don't know why, but they don't like to be like, like asking for playlists or even for song requests. They don't like song requests, and I think that song requests is something great. It's just that you get to decide whether you're gonna play it or not, because it doesn't fit the event, or it does fit the event. If it fits the event, you tell them, okay, I'll play it. Maybe not right now because I'm in a different genre, but I seen like there are other DJs that, let's say you're in hip hop, and someone comes and be like, hey, can you play some banda? And then they literally just put the banda song, and then just kill the music to play the banda song just because it got requested. Your events need to have a flow. You can't just kill a song to play a completely different thing, because you're gonna kill the mood. So you need to find the best. It might be a great song, don't get me wrong. It could be a great song. It's just that it's not the right moment to play it. You know what I mean? So it's very important to understand those key things when it comes to like song preparation.
And I think the biggest thing is that we forget. That's why this topic is important, because DJs, the main thing we do is curate the playlist. That's like the number one thing that you do as a DJ. Like, that's what song selection. So picking the right song, how things start, setting the mood. I mean, that's number one. And all the mixing and beat matching and beat juggling, all that stuff is just icing on the cake. So
Yeah,
this is like the core, one of the core things we do as DJs. And Smiley, what's up? Smiley's in the house. You killed it last week, dude. And then Buddy says we use Vibo. The must play is 10. They also pick the special songs. We have a request table for guests. Yeah. No. So yeah, I don't think you mentioned it, but that's the thing. Must play. I think like I have three like for dance floor. I have like 3 song sections for them to fill out. One is like must play songs. So I tell them like, okay, the songs that you put, like you said, I use that to get a vibe, and especially
Yeah.
if they put a ton of songs in there, then it's like, okay, those, put must plays separately, so that way I play them no matter what happens. And then the do not playlist, that's also super important.
Mhm.
The do not playlist that tells you obviously what not to play, but it also gives you an idea of the type of stuff that they don't like. So, like for example, I had this wedding and the people started filling it out already. They put Cha Cha Slide and whatever Cupid Shuffle in there, so
Yeah.
I know, okay, no line, like even if they don't have to put the rest of them, but I know I'm not playing any line dances. Not that I was planning to, but I know I wouldn't, just because they don't have the wobble in there, so I'm gonna play the wobble. It gives you an idea that they don't want the line dances. So
Yeah.
same thing, it might be some genres. You might get an idea they have a ton of reggaeton songs or something, or they put a bunch of Bad Bunny in the do not play, then you're not going to play other Bad Bunny songs probably either.
Yeah. And,
So
but that's another thing with regarding like the music is like, let's say for a quince or a sweet 16, obviously you have to, 9 times out of 10 it gotta be clean music. But on weddings, even though I mean, at least I have, majority of my music is clean, but there's gonna be weddings where they're like, oh, we don't want clean music, we want dirty music, like, regular. So question, for Smiley and for Buddy, how do you guys handle that? If you, because I know probably Buddy has everything is clean. Do you have dirty versions of songs, or do you just turn down the event because of it, because you're not willing to play dirty versions, you only want to play clean? Again, this has to do a lot with your branding. It's your company, that the name is being out there. In my case, if they request for dirty, it's better. But again, if they want clean, I do have clean versions. It's just that with Spanish music, it's very difficult, because just because you take the uh one, like a big bad word, everything else that they're saying is dirty. Like the whole song is dirty. Like it's just like big, really
the theme
big
of the
words.
song.
But it's those are the things that it's really difficult, especially for with Hispanics, on reggaeton type of music, that, or even cumbia, because cumbia, if you listen to cumbia, like my old cumbia, I don't know, but I don't think now, but like the old cumbia is like, it has double meaning. Like everything
Mhm.
is double meaning, and it's dirty if you like really think about it. So even if you do it clean, because they don't say bad words, but what they say in the message, it's crazy.
Yeah,
So
it's like if they requested WAP, like WAP, but they said they only they don't want any dirty music, and someone requests WAP, and you have the clean version of it. It's like, okay,
it's
like
just
you
gonna be
can't.
instrumental.
Just gotta listen to the instrumental basically. All right, that's good. That's good comments. Yeah, Smiley says, "What's up?" Smiley says, "We get requested the Cupid Flex now." Dude, I haven't even heard of that. Cupid Flex? Is that like a new version of the Cupid Shuffle?
It must be.
And then Buddy says, "This is a good point. You need to talk with your customer. Is it do not play or only if someone asks? This is all something you have to talk to them about." Yeah, it's interesting. Like if there's something on the do not play list, but then a guest comes and requests it, do you play it then?
I
Um,
always, this is something that I always bring it up with my clients, because it happens all the time. Usually my clients will be like, hey, no Bad Bunny. What is the first thing the young
oh yeah,
kids, or
dude,
like
Bad Bunny.
youngins are gonna ask you at an event? Play Bad
100%.
Bunny. So that's what I do. Or like, okay, I see that you do not play Bad Bunny, but what if they come and request Bad Bunny, since you are allowing for me to take requests? So, and they're like, well, if they ask for Bad Bunny, then just play it. So I'm like, okay, so
Mhm.
it's not a must not play, it's a do not play unless asked. So yeah,
That's a
that's a
good one.
good, buddy. That's a good one. I
Yeah.
always do that, because I know that it happens all the time, and special. Or sometimes they even tell you, well, if you see a fit, then play it. If not, then it's okay. We're not gonna get mad if you don't play it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wow, okay.
That's a
So
good point. And Smiley says, "Yeah, I've clean and dirty. I have separate crates for dirty. Yeah, I've started doing that too. I play dirty, and I do like college events and stuff where it's at a bar, or like something like that sometimes. So I'm playing dirty music there. So that's basically what I have it for. But yeah, weddings, I agree. I play all clean music. I've never had anyone ask at a wedding to play dirty, but probably what
I
I'd say is, I'll be like, no, I'll start with clean, and then, later on in the night, I play the dirty versions, because
so
I'm not gonna start playing dirty music. But the song selection also will change, earlier in the night versus later. But yeah, that's the
so
big.
buddy, if you, I know you do all clean. So what happens if they want dirty versions? Do you reject the event and give it to somebody else, or are you willing to play dirty versions at your weddings? Again, and
Yeah.
the reason why I'm asking is because it's your name that's going out there. If you don't mind, then cool, there's people that are like, no, like I like my stuff to like stay clean and like my reputation and whatever. So, and it's totally valid. Either way is valid, is respectfully respected, or however you want to say it. It's I don't I just want to know like how other people would take it. Like
Yeah.
it's interesting to
It's
know.
probably to each their own, and like how what your brand and your company is. Actually, I had a wedding where I did the after party also,
Uh-huh.
but then at the after party, it was interesting. They didn't ask me, but at the after party, I played dirty music, like just defaulted, because I'm like, the vibe is totally different here, So I just kind of defaulted to playing dirty there, and I think it worked for what the vibe was. The after party vibe was like, it was a club, everyone was just like wasted and like hanging around. It was all only young people, so
Yeah.
I defaulted to dirty music.
So late at night, it's much easier to get away with it because everybody's drunk and
Yeah.
everybody's cussing anyways at that
Yeah,
point. So
yeah.
it's much
That's like
easier.
for you, like at one of those house parties you do, like you're playing dirty, you're playing clean there.
Oh yeah. House party, who even worse. Okay, buddy said no WAP. Yeah, hip hop. We do ask for clean or dirty versions for any kind of event. Makes sense.
Yeah, weddings, I just default clean, unless they bring it up. But I don't even ask them. I'll say, yeah, I'm playing clean at a wedding, because there's too many kids. There's grandparents, so I'll just default to clean unless they tell
Yeah.
me.
At a quinceañera, guest wanted me. The guest one. See, I can't read, bro. Read.
Wait, no way. Okay, I'll read it. At quinceanera, guest wanted the WAP dirty version. We had to, at a quinceanera, we had to
damn.
ask the
Yeah.
parents, since they told us only clean music. They gave us the green light, bro. That's still crazy though. At a quinceanera, then the parents, they probably gave you the green light. They're thinking you're gonna play like, I don't know, something that just has a few bad words. Then they hear wet ass. Then they hear that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, you gotta tell us how that went. Did anyone like have a reaction to that? Because I have a reaction to that song when I'm like, yo, this is
Yeah,
too much.
that song is way too explicit.
It is too graphic. Yeah,
Too
it's
much.
too graphic. So if parents are hearing that at a quinceañera, I'm just wondering how they would react to that.
Well, hopefully it was a Spanish parent, so maybe they didn't know English.
They're like, yeah,
Yeah,
good song.
the beat is good.
All right, buddy says, I've had a few weddings that they ask for the bad stuff. I talk to them about how will grandma like it, or mom and dad. What about a boss at the event? Yeah, that's a good way to
You
put
know
it too.
what? And I'm glad the buddy brought it up because I've done this before, like once or twice, and the response to that I got from that was like, "Oh, grandma is only gonna stay for like dinner, and after that she's leaving."
Yeah.
So she's like, pretty much like, "Oh, I don't care." Like, she's leaving. Mom and dad, that I don't know. And then a boss. I mean, if you know your crowd and you know your crowd is crazy, I don't know if you want to invite your boss, unless your boss is as crazy as you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's crazy. That's really crazy.
And Smiley says they were singing to it. That's hilarious, dude.
Oh, wow.
Hispanic parents, but bilingual. They knew about Cardi B's song. Dude, that's crazy. I've never played that song. Like, I never even play that song anywhere. Like, even in a dirty crowd or whatever. I just like I don't even know if that song is in my Serato.
I have it, but the only way I play it is in tribal. So I have a tribal version of that song because I wouldn't. again, I'm not really big on hip hop. I don't find hip hop like good. Like I don't like it.
Mm.
But like hip hop now, like the old school one, like like 80s, 90s, that hip hop I like, and the 2000s. But like from now, it's just like pointless, bro. Like
Yeah, it's
really
you
bad.
can't really dance to the stuff now. That's the thing. It's just when you play it, it's just the kids are like in a circle, just like rapping it to each other or jumping
Yeah,
around or
yeah,
something.
and it's definitely not my flow. So
Yeah,
like I'll play it, but because I have the music, but it's not something that you're gonna see me hyped about. Like I'll
yeah,
play it because I have to, but it's not something that I'm like, oh yeah, like or sing with them, sing along or whatever. I probably don't even know the lyrics of any
yeah,
of the songs.
yeah.
So like
It doesn't have like this like it's not like danceable. That's the biggest thing. It doesn't have
yeah,
like a good the beat is like always weird and like kind of like not like something that like consistent beat that you can dance to. So but
yeah,
anyways, yeah, dude, that's the thing. I mean, so yeah, that's that. I mean, I think it's just with the dirty stuff is just whatever, whatever works for you. There's I don't think that, there's no like this is the right way. If they want a dirty DJ, they're probably gonna hire somebody that plays that kind of music. If they're looking for something more tame, they're also looking for a different type of DJ. Then Buddy says today's stuff is too foul. Will Smith made you dance. Now it's just all bad words. Yeah, Will Smith, they throwing it back. But Will Smith, the rapper, shout out Will Smith, the
yeah,
rapper, until
yeah. He has
before
a
he
good
got infamous.
stuff. He has a
Now,
good
now
stuff.
if you say now when you say Will Smith to the younger the like current generation, they just think of Will Smith at the Grammys. No, was it at the Oscars?
Yeah.
I don't even
Well,
know
so,
he's sing.
anyways, for this portion of this segment of the live, so key things to take away from this. For weddings, pretty much, mixed crowd. Look for key moments. So all of this have special songs that you might want to ask the client to put and perpetrate onto your crates, such as entrance, dinner, first dance, cake, all of that. Quinces is that it's a younger audience and is more family oriented as well. So you want to keep it high energy and obviously clean versions because it's more kids. And unless you get one of this type of parent.
Unless you got Smiley's client, dang dude.
Yeah. And then we also have corporate events.
Mm,
Corporate events are more like safe in the safe zone. uh,
yeah,
Background should be upbeat to set a tone, and also you gotta think a little bit like classy because those are like high maintenance, classy type of things, and then it turns ratchet at the end when they're drunk. But essentially, what you want to project at the beginning is what they're gonna remember, which is like classy, nice, and that will guarantee you to get higher than for the next year. And then we also have the clubs and or private events. When I say private events, I mean like backyards, house parties, all of that. You those are a little bit more freely. You can go ahead and use trend based music. It's hyper driven. It's also you gotta read the room in all of these cases. But on a private event like a house party stuff, that is the one that you wanna you don't have to prepare that much as of like the other ones, but you get the luxury of playing new songs or try new things without being scared of messing up. And then once you see how it reacts there, how it works, project it and use it on a wedding or in a quince, and like it should be the same. But that's essentially what it is. So like some tips for this is always ask a client for must play, a playlist, and I do not play, because you want to go based on what they like. It's not
mhm,
about us, it's about them. So it's completely different than a club. In a club, like you said, Shay, DJs just go over there and play whatever they want. And if you dance, cool. If you don't dance, then oh well.
yeah,
So that's that. And also, creative prayer. You can also, like Buddy say he has Bible. you can create a pre-gig questionnaire to send to your client, so they can either have their guests add some songs, because I know that there's DJs that you can, I guess in Vibo too. I think in Vibo you can do it. Anyone that has the link or permission, they can go in and add songs to the playlist, and there is a certain time frame that you can do it, and then a DJ like closes it up or whatever. And and then just make sure that you also want to build around key moments. So let's say if you play a song for Cake, you should know that when you go next to that, the next song should be something in the same energy level to keep building up, because you don't want it to die down. You want it to keep the energy high at
Yeah.
the peak of the event. So that's very very important. Also, another thing that's very important is to build around key moments, like I said, but like transitions on speeches. You know, like on speeches, you should have some either no music or a background music, like maybe like an instrumental, something very mellow. So because there's people that are very very scared to speak on the on the microphone when everything's quiet, and or they don't like their voice. So hearing a background sound or like music very low, it relaxes them. It helps them to speak. So that's something that you also want to bring up with anyone that's speaking at your event. I don't know how you guys do it with this, but I have Pee Wee ask them, if anyone it's okay being on the mic. If not, then we can put a background song while they're speaking, so they feel more comfortable. It's all about making them feel okay, making them feel great when they're the center of this, the center of thing. We don't want no one choking while talking on the microphone. So I don't know. Do you do that? Do you do that with your? No, you
No,
never.
I haven't. I never asked them that. My big thing is I always play music, like when there's that transition, right, in between. It's like, okay, somebody's getting the mic, or it's someone's performance coming up next. I always have music for that in between. I hate when it's silent, when it's like you're going and then you're waiting for them to start talking. So I always tell them, like, okay, I'm gonna turn the music down. You're gonna hear the music. I'm gonna turn it down when you start talking, kind of a thing. But yeah, I've never had that like during, or thought to talk to that during. But let me see what this buddy said. Buddy said sometimes you may have to slap a hoe. So buddy, you sound like Buddy's had some experience with that. Maybe an angry client, or a annoyed drunk uncle making too many requests. So I might have to see that gig log. And Smiley
Buddy,
says, "Oh yeah,
you're okay, man.
my clean versions are under a corporate folder with subfolders, make it easier and automatically know they're clean." Yeah, it's nice to have. Actually, the way I do it is I do it that way, but for my dirty songs. So I have dirty music I keep separate, because that's the one I use it less. So the ones I use the most are the clean ones. So those are like in my regular, like hip hop, whatever folders. Pop is always going to be clean. And then if I want dirty, then I go to the dirty folder and I can find them there. But yeah, as long as if you have it separate, then whichever way works for you based on whatever you do more. But I don't do, back to your original thing, is I never thought to play it during somebody's speech. Usually I always have people, turn it down. They're always waiting for me to turn the music down. So yeah, I don't know. I wonder if anyone else here has done that. But do you also have the same thing, like in between? Do you play music, when it's, let's say, like you introduce the next speech or whatever, or is it just quiet in the background?
No, when I know that we're having the speeches, I do have a background music playing, and then I just either like turn off the volume when they're speaking, and then bring it up as they're transitioning to the next speaker.
Yeah.
Or I just if they all want the song to like keep playing because they want to feel more comfortable, and then I just keep it on a low level, like very very low, like only like everyone can hear, but it's like the microphone, it's loud enough that they can speak over the sound.
Yeah,
So
like
it
over
wouldn't be
the
a problem.
volume.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think it helps too. Like, I just had, I don't know if maybe I play it too loud, but guests always like, "Oh, turn it off," when they're like trying to talk, or they won't like start talking if they don't hear complete silence, because I didn't talk to them ahead of time. So So that's why I haven't done that. But it's a good idea. I like the idea of there being some music, like never there being dead silence. I think that's one of the things to. That's one of my pet peeves. Like when there's dead silence at an event.
Yeah. Well, also when it comes to like building, like let's talk about like specifically on a wedding. You have the arrival, which can go hand in hand with the with what I'm trying to say, ceremony, because what do you usually play for ceremony? So for in my case, I like to play quartet music because it's like I think it fits the best. Quartet
Yeah.
music fits the best. And then for cocktail hour, I do ask them like, what type of vibe are you looking on a cocktail hour? Are you looking for like more chill vibe, or like a setting, more settled, or do you want like more upbeat type of music? Like or because sometimes they'll be like, oh, well, what do you mean by that? I'm like, okay, do you want like IHOP type of music, or do you want like, I started like naming some restaurants that are near here that I know that they play different type of music,
That's funny.
and then they're like, oh yeah, yeah, so yeah, let's do it like this. Like for example, for this gig that I just booked for this wedding, we will be because she said that she said that she wanted a lot of 60s and 70s because there's a lot of elderly people gonna be there. So
Mhm.
what I did is I proposed to her. I was like, how about we do this for cocktail hour? We'll go ahead and play those 60s, 70s, those very, very um elderly music, like Frank Sinatra. That's the type of music because it's not danceable. Majority of the music back then, like jazz music, that's not danceable, and unless it's like there's some okay, there's some that you can dance to, but like the 1920s, and 1920s when they do the swing, that's very danceable. But there's a majority of the music is more like calm, more chill, and so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play that type of music on cocktail hour. That way, we cater to the older generation, and then on reception, we'll just start from like probably 70s up to now. So
Yeah.
that's how I'm looking to, and that's how I presented to her because I that's how we were talking about it, and I was like, how about we do this? And she loved it. She loved the fact that I proposed it that way. So and this comes with experience, because if I was a new DJ, I'll be tripping like how am I gonna play 1920s, 1930s, 1940s music at a reception?
Yeah,
Well,
no,
you
that's
don't
that's
have
a great way to do it because they might not mean that they want that for the dance floor,
to.
and then maybe they do want to maybe for the slow song or they want to start with a slow song and get there one of those in there. But other than that, like they might not mean that. They might just mean that they want it to play at the wedding at some point. So using the cocktail hour for something like that is a great idea, and then that makes it easier on you too because you're not like freaking out. How am I gonna play this song on the dance floor and not kill the vibe? But let me hit this comment. Smiley says, "Yeah, we do turn it down, and we have music in the background as well." And then Buddy says, "Loud is not good. Redlining is not headlining." Yep, that's a good DJ quote there. DJ,
Yeah, I
like
don't
one of
like
those
I
words
don't
of wisdom.
I don't redline.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't like to
I
redline.
never met anyone. Actually, here is okay. Since you brought this up, side comment. But I went to this event where this DJ was touring, and he was like, the headliner there.
Hmm.
And I went to the event, and he was like hyping everyone up, and he's like getting ready to do this drop, and then right at the drop, the music cut out, and then you could hear it when it would be like the more less loud part of the song, the music would come on, and then when it was like the bass or the drop, it would
Yeah.
cut out. And
Okay.
so immediately I'm like, I know what's happening because if the music's coming out, that means that he probably turned the trim up too loud, and
Yeah.
it's redlining, and then it's going over the limiter. So this was like a professional. It's like the tickets were like $40 to go see this guy, and this
Yeah.
guy didn't know the basics about trim on his controller. And then someone came, they turned down the trim, and then it was fine. But basically, because the trim was too loud, it was redlining, and every time the bass would hit, it would cut out.
Because it has to alert. That's the mentality of like EDM. because of the bass. So once you start redlining or the trim is way too high, those speakers are meant to go into safe mode.
Yep,
Obviously, they're
exactly.
gonna shut down for the amount of period of time that it's hitting at its peak, and
Yeah.
every time it goes down,
It comes
then
back on.
it comes back on. But
This guy had like no idea. He was like, I don't know what's happening. He's like, we're having technical difficulties like during the show. I'm like, bro, like, how is this guy?
and another thing, majority of those DJs, it's very rare that you see a DJ with those type of big like huge shows, like literally playing live. Majority of them already have like built like
Yeah,
like they
recorded.
have pre-recorded stuff, and then all they do is they act like they move some knobs and stuff, and then hype the crowd, whatever.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So that's what it was,
and
and I'm like, but as yeah, it was funny because I was like, dude, this is definitely the headliner that's redlining.
yeah, and then talking going to the next one, we have dinner and also the formal, which is usually smooth groove, low tempo, very chill music. Even you can throw some sing-alongs, and also when you're building up your crates, the let's say that you require or no, you ask for a playlist, and they send you a whole bunch of music. You can implement a lot of those songs that are not danceable or that you think they're whack into like the dinner or cocktail hour, because in cocktail hour people are not really paying attention to the music. They're talking to other people and having a good time, conversating with everybody else. They're not really paying attention to the music. And on dinner, you can have those songs that you probably won't ever play at the reception, at the
Yeah,
party part. So use those, and that way the client gets what they wanted. They wanted those songs because it's in their playlist, and you used it on a different type.
yeah.
It
Dinner
was
is a
never
great
said
time.
every, because as a DJ, we don't tell them give us a playlist to play at your reception. Give us a playlist and we'll put it where we best think it fits.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's
that's
a good one too. Dinner is a great one where let's say the bride or groom want to hear a song. Because the cocktail hour they're probably not there, but the
yeah.
dinner you're like, all right, I'll play that song for them. Make sure that they're they're there. And
So I call that one the dinner music is like the burners for me. Like those are
yeah,
like things that I can just burn, like get it rid of, because I don't want to. I probably don't want to play it at the party because I know that it's not gonna fit the mood that I'm trying to set for the party part. But it helps at adding music that they wanted to hear during a time where it it doesn't. I don't want to say it doesn't matter, because every single part of a wedding or every single part of the event matters. It counts. But a dinner is just like people are just talking to each other. The volume is not that loud anyways. It's very mellow, very chill, and it's very cooling.
yeah,
So that's another one. And also you want to have obviously your main dance floor, and you got to build the energy over time, like progress. And then you want to have a closing one, which is end strong, either with a sing along. Usually ending when a sing along works very well, or a sentimental song that that it really brought them together, like their first song when they first started dating, or something like that. I don't know, like.
yeah. Ending is hard. It's always like I try to think of an ending. Same thing, like how I start and how I end. I like to think about it beforehand, but then
Mhm.
ending is hard to predict because it'll like you're like, oh, like this isn't gonna work, or this crowd will want to end a different way. And then sometimes I just end like hype too. Like if it depends on like how the crowd is, I'll end with like a really hype song,
Mhm.
and like just end on that on a high note. So though that's like the ways I usually go about it. Sometimes I'm like, you know what, like there's no good ending here. Like I'm just gonna end it like, all right, we got the last two songs, and like just kind of ended on just a random song, like that I didn't really think about as much. But
Yeah.
ending is definitely one of those things that's like I think about it. Then during the set, I'm thinking, okay, like what am I gonna end with? I'm like thinking about that during the set too,
Well,
especially I mean in the
que-
last hour.
question for all of you guys. Do you guys ask the client if they have in a specific song they want to end the night with? I do. And 9 times out of 10, they say no. They don't care.
Yeah.
So I have to choose I have to choose a song, which I have no problem because when I go to the event, depending on the mood, I decide of a song. Like I don't think ahead. I don't think ahead. I just go based on how they feeling or how I wanted to end the event. Maybe use one of the songs in the playlist that I probably wasn't thinking about playing at the actual part, but I can implement it in there. I also ask the client, hey, what songs like reminds you of like you guys, or like a best moment for you guys? And if they say that, maybe keep that one and use that one as the last song. Because usually on the last song, everybody like gets around, like hugs and whatever, and
Yeah.
then you can play some nice, so like, sweet Carolina, or there's this other
Yeah,
one.
actually, that buddy just made a comment. Let me get these buddies' comments here. He
Go
said
ahead.
tons of DJs think they know sound. They don't. They run into this at a gig, then they wonder why. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised. I'm like, dude, you've been touring and stuff, and you never had this issue before. He says, I love having people sing dancing at dinner. That's interesting. So he said, Sweet Caroline is one he'll play at dinner. Get the room going at the end of dinner. That's interesting. I've obviously I know about the you like get the idea of getting people dancing at dinner, but that's along similar lines, doing the sing-alongs during dinner. That's an interesting idea, and I think it's a pretty good idea. You could
It works.
work not thinking about like okay to get them up and dancing a little dinner, but play songs that they know and they can sing along to. Play some of those at dinner so that they're like okay, like this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Uh, for me too. I've used Sweet Carolina on dinner, and to my surprise, everybody started singing that song like
Oh,
loud. They were
really?
yelling that song while they were getting their food from, because it was a buffet. So everybody was on the line, and then I started playing the song, and everybody was just yelling, and I was like, "Whoa,
Wow, interesting.
what a cool turnout, like effect. It was projecting, like it was so nice. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I might have to try it then because there's a lot of sing along songs that you can't get to all of them. There's so I have so many of them that I know people know, and like I won't you definitely get to all of them. So play some of them at dinner, and yeah that's cool that you had the same kind of reaction.
Another one is I think it's called Crows Roads. I think that's what it's called.
I don't know that one.
Oh, something they mentioned West Virginia.
Oh,
Like, but that one is very, very known too. I finished an event with that song too, and it worked perfectly. And but again, it goes with you reading the crowd and understanding what music they like. So like, because for me, I wouldn't, if I hadn't known, I would not play that song. Like
I
what
don't know.
Carolina,
Maybe I think of Virginia.
those are country songs. So I think they sound country to me.
Yeah,
So
country.
yeah, so I wouldn't have played, but with the experience that I have gained, I understand and read the crowd better.
Yeah.
So
And then Buddy said, yes, most do. I think he's talking about like having an end of the night song. So he says, yes, most couples do fill it out for him. And his last wedding, they did Bye Bye Bye.
I use that. Oh, that song, Bye Bye Bye. I use that song for the middle school event that I did
Oh, did
with
it work?
the Big Red. Yeah, and then I was like, I had a Big Red say, "Hey, this is gonna be the last song. We're closing it with this one." And then I played this song, and like the girls were singing it, like the little
Wow.
girls were singing it, and I was
Middle
like,
schoolers?
"What? They know this song?" Yeah,
That's
they were
crazy,
just
dude.
singing it, and then there was a few teachers that were like dancing, grooving to it. Not dancing, they
Yeah,
were just
that's
grooving
why
to it.
they're that's because that's their age.
Yeah, but like I thought it was like it fits perfectly. So
Yeah, that's crazy that middle schoolers know. I would not have. I always play that. Like I can play that at weddings, but I never played that at anything younger than a wedding. That's interesting. That's good to know though that they like it. And Buddy said that's one of the main reasons we get 5-star reviews. Wow. Yeah. So if nobody's tried that before at dinner, try playing the sing-alongs because yeah, it sounds like that's like a cheat code. That Diego tried it once, it worked, and then sounds like guests
Bunny
really love
uses
it
it a
when
lot.
Buddy does it too. So yeah, try that out. That's a great idea because
Yeah.
there's so many sing-alongs out there. And it's like you're not gonna play too many. You can play sing-alongs, but it's like kind of an end of the night kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could, and you're talking about songs, you want to burn them, but you can, that's a great one. Oh, and he's talking about closing time. So closing time, country roads. Yeah, closing time is another good one. Oh, is this the country roads is the one you were talking about, right?
Yeah. Country roads.
Take me home, country roads. Dude,
Yeah,
I've
that
never
one.
heard this song. That's crazy.
Yeah, that one's really good. Like,
Oh, really? Okay, I'm gonna add this to my list then. Now that I know
listen, it's coming from a person that doesn't like country. That one is pretty good.
doesn't like country. That's why I don't know this song, dude. Because that's like. But closing time's another good one for that same same genre.
It gets the point across. Closing
Yeah,
time.
it gets the point across, and it's like I'm adding this to my list of songs I need to download.
If you want to end the party on a high note, you can do Footloose.
Footloose.
Yeah, that one
Never
works
played
too.
that one either. Buddy, have you tried that one?
That's
Buddy
not
should
country
know
though.
these
Footloose
songs.
is a you know that song, Footloose.
No, I don't know that one either,
Oh, you
dude. I
gotta
know the
get
movie.
the
I know the movie Footloose. Is it from there? Maybe.
Footloose. Something like
Smiley says my 3-year-old daughter sings "Bye Bye Bye" all the time. Oh, that's crazy, dude. But your daughter is the daughter of a DJ, so she's gonna know more songs.
Well, you know the Bye Bye song. That one, Deadpool made it famous again.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, Smiley said that too. That makes sense.
Yeah, because he started doing the dancing thing like this.
That makes sense. That's why the kids would know it too. That makes much more sense.
Yeah,
But I think you did the event before that new Deadpool movie.
yeah, I did it before.
And then Chinchillin's in the house. What's
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
man?
what's up, bro?
He said, depends for me as a Hispanic DJ. Where I live, they don't care what music you played, cumbia or norteñas or bachata or duranguense or something. They don't care what you play.
Oh, okay.
What do you
Well,
have to say about that?
well, he says where he lives, so maybe his experience is that. I feel like even
He said
though
where I live. Yeah.
even if they don't care what music you play, you want to set the tone. Like for me, when I play to just Hispanic music and playing to I'm catering to just Hispanics. My dinner crates, I want to say, I use Latin pop for that. I use Latin pop, or I use salsa, but romantic salsa, and that's what I play because it's very mellow.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I wanna, depends on the crowd. Depends if I see that they're very like upbeat or whatever, then I'll play mambo. Mambo is like a merengue type, but like slowed a little slowed, and it has a little more of a bass, more of a kick, and it's fun because what I do is I use mambo, but I use music that is mambo versions of other songs. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's say a romantic song. I have a mambo version of that song, and I play that one. So a lot of people know that song, and they'll sing it while dancing because it's danceable. It's a danceable type of music, and it's fun. It's really fun to listen. If you listen to mambo, I'll probably make a mix and I'll put it on YouTube so you guys can listen to it. But it's fun. It's just, again, to me, it's a lot. A lot has to do with what are you looking to project. I'm projecting. We're dancing right after you're eating, so I'm playing music that is like, head bumping, or they can sing to it because I know that they know the song. So those are things that you gotta take in consideration. Oh, Buddy's right, Mr. Brightside. I ended our party with Mr. Brightside too. So and everybody was yelling it. So
yeah, that's a good one, Mr. Brightside. Since we're saying other ones, I would do. I even do "Don't Stop Believing" sometimes in those in the specific crowds. Like if there's
I've never ended with Don't Stop Believing.
I've ended with that one. It goes pretty good.
I mean, what, you don't want to stop believing that the party's over?
No, yeah. I mean, I don't play songs like literally. I don't know. It doesn't have to be the literal. It's just everybody singing along to it. It's a song that everybody knows. That was Mr. Brightside. The same thing. It's not like every song doesn't have to say the party's over. Nuke. Oh, hey Nuke, what's up? I don't know, Nuke. Welcome to the podcast, man. Thanks for stopping by.
What's up, Nuke?
He says, "What kills at the end of the night is the time of my life." Oh, is that the one? Like, I've had the time of my life. That one has the ladies putting their man on the spot to see if they can lift them in the air like the movie. Dude, I haven't tried. That's a good one. Buddy, how about you? Have you tried that one? Have you tried that one, Diego?
No, the time of
That's a
my life.
good
No,
one.
I've never
That's the
tried
one, right?
that.
It's like, I've had the time of my life and never felt this way before.
I'm guessing. That's all
Yeah.
the one that I
Which
know.
movie? Oh, Dirty Dancing. That's why. Dude, that's a good. I'm gonna add that one, dude. That's a good tip.
From okay, from what movie?
The movie's Dirty Dancing.
Huh?
And in that, I don't remember the movie,
Okay,
but it
so
must be
he's not talking about the one you're singing. There's an original version.
uh
The one that we listen to or we know, it's not the original.
the original Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing is the name of the movie.
Yeah, I think he's talking about that.
I'll probably check it out.
And then Buddy says he's had that happen many times.
I've never used. I've used Time of My Life to like probably start the party. At least that version that we
That I
were
was
you
singing.
were talking about. I used it like in the beginning of the party, but I've never really used it as a closure. That's interesting.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
probably
He
try
says
it.
the original. Yeah, he says from the movie. Yeah, that's a good one, dude. Let's keep going. What other what other good closing songs to give each other ideas?
Yeah, man, that's a great one.
That's
Um,
another good one,
Probably gonna
dude.
have to try it in one of these events.
And then
I have to listen to it first. Make sure like
make sure, yeah, you gotta listen to it. Oh, I've ended with "Come On Eileen" too, with like, again, like people that like rock music kind of stuff, because
okay.
that song is so. First of all, it's sing along, but it changes, right? Like the tempos change and stuff. So if you're trying to mix with it during the night, it's kind of tough. And then like it ends, like I said, it ends on a high note because it ends like so like it ends like really fast paced and stuff. So
Okay.
I've ended with that one too. And Anouk said, "No, no, that's how it goes. Same way Will I Am did it." Yeah, okay. So Will I Am made a new version of it too. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
She likes
She's like the wind. Oh, hold on, let me click it. She's like the wind is a good one for the start of dinner. Oh, interesting. Also from the movie, dude, Dirty Dancing.
I don't know that
She's
one.
like the wind.
She's like the wind. I don't know that one. I've never heard that one.
She's like the wind. Yeah, also from Dirty Dancing. I feel like I've heard it. Oh, she's like the wind through my tree. Yeah, yeah. I think I've heard like a remake of this.
That's the thing, bro. There's so many songs that are like remakes, and then when you play it, it's like not what they were expecting. That's another thing. Oh, that's another thing that you have to, when you know that there is a song that has been edited so many times, so many versions of it, you want to make sure, yeah, what type of version are you talking? Are you talking about the original or this one? Because it has happened where they ask for a song and you have the wrong version. So
Mhm.
you also want to make sure that that's the correct. Well, I don't know. Maybe Bible has it too, but usually when I send and I ask for the playlist, if it's gonna be on paper, which is rare, they don't do paper no more. But every now and then you have someone that will send you their playlist in paper. I do ask for the specific singer and if they can, like. But when they send it in Spotify or whatever, it's already there. All you have to do is click it and listen to the song.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Anouk says the same way you were saying it. Yeah, so it's probably the same one. I think I remember this. I remember the Will I Am version too, but I know the original. So Anouk says, "Oh, this is interesting, dude." He says he's used a lot of audio he's recorded off of old DVDs. So not even ripping off CDs, ripping off DVDs. I didn't even know you could do that. Or maybe you recorded it some other way, like when the song comes on, you record it. But that's like
I'll be
that's
surprised if you say VHS.
dude, dude. If somebody's like, "Yo, yeah, I ripped them off my old tapes or something," that's cool. That's DVDs. That's being resourceful. Because
Yeah,
some of the the older songs, like maybe you have them, like there's some tracks that I have that I've from like my original, like I don't know, when I first started downloading music like in 2005, I still have that original file. So this is kind of like that, like you just have that original file, you just like kept using the same thing.
yeah. So when I started, I had a lot of like CDs, right, that I transferred into my iTunes, my computer. And
Yeah,
then when I found out the record pools existed, I started like getting into the record pools and getting the same songs, but obviously I feel like it's better, better quality. So
better
I would get the
quality.
song and delete the one from the CD and get the one from the record pools. And
Yeah,
that's
replace.
another thing. You can get inspiration. You can get curate playlists in record pools, such as like promo only, DJ City, BPM Supreme. They have a whole bunch, and there's a whole bunch of DJ pools that you can buy music. You can see what's trending, what other DJs are downloading, and that's another great way to also stay in the loop with the music. And again, you always want to make sure that all the music that you get is the best quality you can get, because that also projects into your crowd. And if you like, you know sometimes the old music, it's or like the rip music, it just does a disservice to your client. And you want to be as professional and as best intended
Yeah.
as you can.
No,
So
100%, dude. And that's why if I hear a song that's not good quality, like I'm playing it, I'll immediately make a note for myself. All right, download a new version of this song, because it's probably
yeah,
been sitting in my library. I never got to download a new one.
yeah.
Nuke says, "Well, I'm in radio and TV for eons, so I'm spoiled." Oh, that's cool, dude. Radio
Ooh,
and TV. Got a radio DJ. You're the first one that came into the podcast.
yeah,
And
that'll
Chin
be
Chun said you got to
interesting.
be careful with YouTube MP3. I mean, yeah, there's YouTube MP3. I mean, the quality you're gonna get from that is not gonna be that great.
Yeah.
And Anouk says, "I'm old." What? Tupac used to carry my records when. Whoa!
Dang.
Tupac used to carry my records when I was touring with Digital Underground. LOL. Dude, what? We got like a legend in here,
Oh,
dude.
we
That's
have an
crazy,
OG.
man.
That's what's up.
What do you mean, Tupac? Like the Tupac used to carry your records when you were touring? That's insane, man. So
That's crazy.
he's met like the actual like Tupac before Tupac was famous.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I've never, dude. You're like a hip hop legend then.
Yeah. Hey, we should try to
Legendary.
get him on. We should try to get him featured on our next episode, man.
Yeah. We
Hey,
got to
you,
hear some of these stories.
yeah, man. We would love to have you on the show and share your story with us. If you would like, go ahead and type your email address so I can send you a link so you can hop on next week, and we'll love to talk to you, man. You have a lot of experience under your belt.
Yeah, to
So
hear about all those experiences and different type of DJing experiences, like because we're only used to doing like weddings, and this is wow. Chinchon said, "I tried it before. It sounded okay, but be careful with the speakers, though." Oh, that's interesting. So maybe he means that it can
he
like blow out your speakers or something if you have bad
not,
quality music.
not necessarily blow your speakers. That what happens is that on YouTube, or at least on your headset or on your computer, it sounds fine. But when you project it into a professional sound system, it's flat. It sounds
Mm,
horrible. So it's not like it's gonna bust
sounds
your
worse.
speakers up, but it sounds really bad or very low, and no bass. But on your speakers, on your computer speakers, on your headphones, it sounds fine. You're like,
Yeah,
oh, okay, I can deal with this. But now I don't. It doesn't work like that. So you also want to make sure that you have the music for good quality. Now another thing is, at least for us mobile DJs, is say, well, let's see. He said lots of folks love allow 5 passports deep. Oh wow. Say no to YouTube promo only.
YouTube promo only 320. Yeah, 320 KB.
So no
That's the
YouTube
goal.
DJ pools is better.
Yeah, DJ Pool is promo only.
Now another thing. well, including DJ pools, there's gonna be songs that you might not find in a couple of DJ pools, and this is where your either Spotify, SoundCloud, and Beat Source, this type of services might come in handy. And I always say this: make sure that if you do have title, Beat Source, any of this, that should be your backup. It should never be your main source of music because you never know when you're not gonna have internet or whatever. The beauty about Beat Source, at least for me, is that I know if I can't find a song that I probably won't use often, I don't need to download it into my computer. I don't want it,
Mhm.
but I can have it on Beat Source, put it on the off locker, and I can use it without internet. So that's the good thing about this. And you can look and you can search for songs on the fly. That way you don't have to use Apple Music or Spotify if you don't want to use those things. You just use the Beat Source or Title if you have Title. I don't know if Title has an offline, but I know Beat Source does because I use it all the time. So, but again, Beat Source, it should be a backup. It should never be your main source.
Yeah, and Buddy's saying the same thing. Don't stream your music. Have it on your hard drive. 100%, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
I was this past weekend. I was at like this. I was doing. It wasn't like it was an event for friends and family, but I was DJing and the Wi-Fi was terrible. I mean, that happens so many times. Like you go to a barn wedding or something, the Wi-Fi is going to be terrible. You cannot rely on that. You have to have it on your hard drive, and then yeah, have it as a backup or use it when you need to just find a request that you don't want to go and download the whole thing. It's perfect for something like that, Beat Source. But for your primary crates and the stuff that you're using to mix with on the regular, like that, all that has to be on your hard drive.
Yeah, of course. Again, the streaming services should only be as a backup if a song request that you don't have, you can search it up on there, and if you have it, play it, and then after that, it's fine. But you should not base yourself on a hard on a hard drive on a streaming service. Is really bad.
Buddy says people watching too much porn. People are streaming. Everybody's streaming porn at the time of your DJ sets at like 10 p.m. or whatever. So
So
the
that's horrible.
bandwidth, the hotel's bandwidth is being taken up.
And
That's a good last song of the night right there to end the podcast on.
yeah, that's true. All right, so just quick takeaways, real quick, before we end up. Well, go ahead and read Chinchillins real quick.
Chin said, whenever I tried to post my DJ setups or music, I hated when they said copyright and mute your videos. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, like that's why I've only uploaded one because of that, because of the copyright stuff. And well, you know what? Nuke might be able to talk to us about that because he's a radio DJ, so he might be able to.
Yeah, about the copyright.
Yeah, about the
You gotta
copyright
pay your
stuff.
royalties, or you just gotta remix it so much that they can't copyright it. They don't recognize the original. That's another way to do it. But yeah, that's a constant battle.
Yeah, but now in conclusion to all of this, aside from you preparing your crates and having music in specific time frames that you think is gonna go well, all in all goes to knowing how to read the crowd, because you might have an idea, but if the crowd projects something else, everything that you've done, it's not gonna work. You have to learn how to read the crowd. And how do you do that? Well, how do you know if it's like whatever you're playing is working or you're bombing it? Well, one is watch body language. That's a huge one.
Mhm.
Body language will tell you everything. Is like the dance floor flow. It's very important as well. And you also want to just just be mindful. You shouldn't be in your computer like this looking for another. Play a song, think, and while you're thinking, you're looking around, because you might have a song in your head, but then you see that genre or that type of music is not working. You're not gonna play another one. Try something else. Uh, it comes with reading the crowd. All the songs that you play, it doesn't matter how well you have it curated in your before the event. Everything turns to the actual event, because we have to be doing this on the fly. We have to
Mhm.
DJ live. I there's DJs that have pre-made sets already, and in that case, then you're blocking yourself and you're doing a disservice, because even though you're reading the crowd, you're not gonna lose those 20 minutes, cut it in half to play something else, and then what are you gonna do? Because you can't. It's always crazy, man. That's just crazy to me how they do it. Um, and don't marry to your playlist. Always feel free to hop off your playlist or your curated, look for other songs that you might think it work, or if they come and they do a request, go based on that request. If you see that request works, go based on that. It might not be on one of your curated playlists, it might be on your hard drive, but feel free to use it because it might work. It can guide you to do better and to find other songs you were not thinking about.
Yeah, that's a great point, dude. And then
So
Anouk added a comment. He said, "Always speed up or slow down. Remix live and quick mix in slash out might help, but the bots are always searching like the friggin' Matrix." There you go. There's some advice on how to do it right there. I think that's a great summary. Those are great techniques to try to get around the algorithm or the bots that are always trying to scan.
yeah, that's why I guess I didn't have that much of an issue with my tech house one, because I was I was using like I was the tempo. I was playing with the tempo, just speeding it up, slowing down, speed it up.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, it was
exactly.
good. But
All
all
right,
right,
I gotta wrap it up for this one.
yeah. Thank you everyone in the comments for hopping on and keeping us on check, and sharing your ideas and what has worked for you guys, because see, now we have more songs to close an event with that we're not thinking,
And you can try the sing-alongs during dinner too.
and
That's
we can try
that was a really good
sing-alongs
one.
during dinner. Nuke, thank you for stopping by. Hope you like the show. Again, give us your email address, and we would love to have you on one of our episodes if you're okay with it. And yeah, and then everybody else, thank you very much for stopping by again, and I appreciate you guys, and see you in the next week. All right,
Peace
peace.
out, everyone.